How are you all doing? This is me, Dora, the explorer, my backpack. Hello, y'all. How are you all doing this morning? I'm bringing you all on my walk. You know, I love to bring you all on my walk before I go work out. How is everyone doing? How is everyone doing? I pray all is well with you all. I'm waiting for a few people to come in. It's hot out here, but like I said, I love my outdoors. I love my outdoors. How is everyone doing? I love coming out here talking with you all. I just love talking, period. I kind of knew God was going to use me with this lip of mine, this mouth of mine, but I didn't know to what magnitude. Um, but you know what? I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my gift. I embrace it. I no longer run from it. You know, I gotta just do what He called me to do, and that is just to bring wisdom and truth. That's my purpose, to bring wisdom and truth, even my own truth. I don't run from that. I don't hide. I don't hide from my own truth. But listen, you all. You know what I've noticed? People think you have not experienced life. This is the topic. People think you have not experienced life because you don't play victim. And what I mean by this is people think you have not experienced life because you don't play victim. You have not become a victim to your circumstances and situations. You know, as a chosen one, sometimes when we experience stuff, when we experience stuff, we we tend to what I was going to say, I lost the train of thought because I heard some voices, heard someone. Sometimes as a chosen one, we go through things, getting out the road, we go through things, and what was my train of thought? Let me get my train of thought here. Oh, what I was going to say is, as chosen ones, we go through things, and sometimes we experience things, because we don't know who we are, right? We don't know who we are. We're trying to discover and figure out all of the confusion and the complexity. We're trying to identify who the heck you are as a chosen one, right? Because you're trying to figure out so many different things that no one really taught you. No one taught you, and no one prepared you that you were going to go through some of the things that you was going to go through. And that's okay, because it's life. That's what you have to do. You have to go through things, and that's how you learn. But no one told you to prepare you that you're going to feel awkward, right? You're going to feel like you don't fit in. You want to feel like you don't fit in with your family, right? You want to be attacked. You're going to be lied on and talked about. You just don't fit in, period. But I said that to say this. As a chosen one, people think you have not experienced life because you don't play victim. You keep living. You keep living. You don't let your circumstances, what you've been through, right? The stuff that I mentioned, like hardships that I've, mentioned in the past, like abuses and stuff, you don't sit and allow because someone abused you or mistreated you, stop you from moving forward. People don't like that about the chosen ones. People don't like that their tactics, what they try to put on you, what they try to do to you as a chosen one. People don't like that their abuse couldn't stop you, that their slender couldn't stop you, right? They're mad because you fought to get from under their regime and their control. I had one person, and yeah, when I talk about my stuff, y'all can feel. When I talk about this stuff, I don't be talking about this stuff from a place of brokenness and being unhealed. Because sometimes you can feel that stuff when the person is bleeding on folks. They can feel it. When I share my examples, I'm sharing my examples and what I've been through from a healed place to let you all know, hey, you're not the only one that went through this, or to say something that that people could relate to. That's why you guys chose this channel. That's why you all come here, because I'm talking real life stuff that people don't talk about, right? I remember one time this person, and I was a little younger, and I didn't know who I was. This person had so much control over me. I used to be afraid to speak up. Right? Sorry, getting into the mic. I used to be afraid to speak up. And once I started healing, because see what happens is when you're in abusive situations, when you are around people that are abusers, it's like you can't see the light. It's like you're stuck in this fog. It's like you don't know who you are. You don't know how you get there, right? The only thing you know is you're just stuck. You just feel stuck, and the stuckness feels like you're trying to please people. You're trying to be everything to them, right? When you're in an abusive situation, everything is your fault. You get blamed for everything that's going on in the situation. I don't care if it's a friendship, romantic relationship, on a job. You can apply this anywhere. You're always blamed for the wrong. The person could never look at themselves. And as the chosen one, you take that on. You take that on because you're not healed and you don't know who you are. You take that on because you're not healed and you don't know who you are and you believe the foolishness. You believe it. But I remember one time, this is what I want to talk to you about. I want to come talk about this. I remember one time, this person had so much control over me. So when I finally stood up to her, right, I finally had the guts in the, I finally grew some, right? And I finally stood up to her and I asked her a question. And then when I asked her a question, oh, it knocked her, it knocked her off her guard because she didn't think I had the guts. She didn't think I grew some, right? Fill in the blank. Because I was so young and naive and, I had no boundaries and I was so afraid of people, right? I was so afraid. It took me years to stand up for myself. It took me years to stand up for me. I let this person intimidate me. I let this person bully me, right? And the sad part is, she didn't bully me directly. This is how the enemy works. She didn't bully me directly. She bullied me indirectly. She used other people. To be honest, this person really never said anything to me. She bullied me indirectly. She used other people. She used proxies, right? She used other people to do things to me. And see, she knew that would be effective because them demonic spirits in her had already sought me out. Them spirits in her already knew and recognized those spirits in me. And they recognized I had that fear. I was afraid, right? Them spirits recognized what was going on in me. That's why I say you got to focus on healing. And you got to get the word of God in you so you can build yourself up to fight back. You got to build yourself up to fight back. But she used other people, right? So what happened was when I finally got some guts, I finally got delivered from that people pleasing spirit. I confronted that spirit, right? Which means her and the spirit in her. I confronted that spirit. And that spirit had a tantrum. Oh, that spirit had a tantrum. Them spirit, people don't like people who abuse you. They want you to say nothing. They don't want you to say anything. So when I finally, and I'm trying to get to a point here, when I finally stood up to that spirit because I got tired of, I was willing to give up everything. I was willing to lose everything because I was tired of that spirit bullying me, and I was tired of that spirit running rampant. I was tired of that Jezebel spirit just bullying me and making me bow and having me afraid. I allowed this to go on for, when I tell you, I allowed this to go on for so long, but I thank God though, because that situation built me, it strengthened me. She helped me develop my strength. She helped me to stand up for myself. But let me tell you something. When you stand up to them bullying spirits, when you stand up to them demonic spirits, and you finally get some guts, you finally get some gumption, you finally stand up, let me tell you what's gonna happen. You finally say no, enough is enough. Let me tell you what's gonna happen. What's gonna happen is them spirits going to manipulate the people around you. Them spirits are going to manipulate the people around you. They're going to come forth and work on the mind, work on the minds of the people around you, just like she did me. She never directly dealt with me per se. What she did was she dealt with people around me, controlled the people around me, controlled the people I love, used them to turn against me. And that's one of the hardest pills to swallow when you can see the spirit and no one else can see it because it's all surface. You know, it is very difficult. It's very difficult for people to see what you see as a chosen one. See, that's why she never really dealt with me anyway, because I saw straight through it. I saw all the demons she was dealing with. I saw everything on her. And I didn't want no parts of it. My spirit and her spirit didn't we didn't mesh from the beginning. Them demons in her recognized the spirit in me. So we didn't mesh from the beginning, and that was okay. But see, I was young and I didn't understand what I understand now. And I thank God took me through that so I can be able to come and educate people on the levels of how you deal with spirit. So people think you haven't gone through nothing. But one thing I was gonna say, when you tell them spirits no, when you stand up to them demons, let me tell you something, what's gonna happen. When you stand up to these demons, that's why I say you gotta stay prayed up. You gotta stay prayed up. You gotta have so much word in you and get so much strength on the inside. Because them demons don't play fair. They play nasty. Them some nasty demons. They play nasty. So what happened was, see, when I told her no, first she had a demonic meltdown. Them demons in her, I mean, she went haywire. I dare you tell me no. I dare you stop me from doing what I want to do. I dare you stop me from abusing. And see, sometimes we get so enmeshed in situations because these people who usually come with this demonic energy, they be family. They be in-laws. They be people that, you have good relationships with. They're connected to these people too. So it be so difficult to kind of deal with these situations because these people are intertangled and they're what it is, they're connected to people who you care about, right? So told that demon no, and she had a fit. She had a fit because them demons don't like to hear no. Oh, they don't like to hear no. They don't like for you to, and you don't have to say no in a nasty way. It's just that you don't want them to run your life. When you say no and you're doing it for a good reason, you're not just saying no to be malicious. You're not saying no just to be malicious or just to rattle somebody or to get under somebody's skin. When you say no, them demons don't like that. So what they'll do when you say no, oh, they're gonna start out to slander. Oh, they're gonna turn people against you. They're gonna turn your loved ones against you. They're gonna use your children, turn your children against you, especially if they have a what they call, especially if your children respect them and your children, have a relationship with them, right? If your children respect that person, they're going to use that child as a pawn against you. But see, sometimes the children know this and sometimes the children don't, right? Especially if they're adults. When they're little kids, you got to pray for these babies because they're under demonic influence. They're under witchcraft. Even some adults, they be under demonic influence too. But they'll use the people you love against you. And see what they're trying to do is they're trying to create confusion. They're trying to create confusion. Them demons in them know how to divide and conquer. So if they can come in to your life and if they can divide, they can conquer you. If they can divide, they can conquer you. So what they do is they create all these different rifts. And that's why I gave a message a while ago. And the Lord put this in my spirit. And it's not that I'm speaking stuff over people and I'm wishing harm on them because I don't do that. That's not what I do. Even this woman, God knows I wanted to pray like, Lord, you end it. Listen, because you be so hurt. I'm gonna bring it true. You wanna pray them prayers, how people send back the sender and all them type of prayers. You don't supposed to pray them prayers. Regardless of how bad people hurt you because It's built in the law. They're going to reap what they sow. But anyway, I wanted to pray them prayers, right? But anyway, God had to grow me up spiritually. I couldn't do that. So what happens is they use your loved ones, people you love against you. And what they want to do is create divide, but division. But anyway, what I was gonna say, God put in my spirit a little while ago, and I gave a message, and that message was straight from the Lord. I didn't plan on saying that message, but the message that I gave was these people that are out here causing issues against the true chosen ones, who are just causing, reaping havoc and creating chaos and confusion. Life is not going to go well for them. They're putting their mouth on the chosen ones. They're creating chaos. They're lying. They're slandering. It's not, you're going to see, and I'm not speaking this, but I'm just saying what the message, what the download I got a couple months ago. You're going to see, right? You're going to see that's not even justice. You're going to see the demonic seeds that they're the planted, the division, the chaos and the confusion that they created. You're going to see them reap a harvest of what they have sown. You're going to see that. And I said in the message, that is not for you to rejoice. You don't rejoice in nobody else's, you know, follow. I know some people want to because people hurt you so bad. Listen, I've been hurt. I'm not gonna lie, that situation hurt me. I talk about it a lot. It hurt me. But as I talk about it, I get more revelation from it. I get more insight from it, right? So I have to come here and share it with you all. So yeah, that situation took me out, but I had to learn, and it equipped me, right? It equipped me in a way that I was not equipped. It gave me a um, spiritual strength that I didn't have before, right? See, I don't see things. My thing is, I don't be seeing things. Can y'all still hear me? I don't be seeing things like everybody else. I don't be seeing things like everybody else. But people think because you decide to live your life, you decide not to let something get you down, that you haven't gone through anything. You decide to keep on, you take a licking and you keep on ticking. And people think you haven't gone through anything. They think you haven't experienced life. They think because you don't have this victim mentality, they think that you haven't gone through nothing. They think that because you're not crying on the rooftop, talking about your issues every day, all day, they think you haven't gone through anything. But as the chosen ones, we learn that what we go through is only going to strengthen us. Like my grandmother used to say, and it's true. I looked at her like she was crazy. What don't kill you will make you stronger. What don't kill you will make you stronger. But when you're dealing with these spirits that have demonic influences that they like to control, and when they can't control you, they bring out the slander. So, slander changes people's perception about you. I don't care who it is. The enemy knows if he creates slander, if he can get you to slander someone, if he can get you to lie on someone, because people have lied on folks. You got innocent people in jail right now because somebody don't lie on them. Because somebody lied on them. You got people in jail right now because some people are so wicked and they're so mad at the person because the person didn't bow to them or they didn't do what they want them to do because they can't control their demons on the inside and say, Lord, help me with myself. They want to make sure that person suffers. They want to make sure that person's life don't go well. But one thing about the chosen one, let me tell you something. We know how to cut our losses. We may go through something. We may cry. We may do the ugly cry. We may snot. We may feel bad. We may get down and depressed just for a minute. But after a while, we know how to cut our losses. We know how to get up, separate ourselves from that situation and those people, and we know how to move on. We know how to move on. We're not going to stay stuck where people want us to stay. Some of y'all don't stop living y'all life. Y'all don't stop living y'all life because people have lied on y'all, slandered y'all. And I know it's hard. I've been there. It is hard as heck to try to get through somebody slandering you. Every chance they get, they telling everybody else what you did, what they said you did. They telling everybody the lie. And people out here believing this stuff too. Yeah, people believe in this stuff. So I can't see, you all coming in because I don't start that walking. And people believe in this stuff. They believe in it. Yes, they are. And you trying to figure out, well, how in the world you gonna believe this? It's because that demonic energy, that demonic, demonic venom. Only thing you can do is pray and ask God to open the eyes of people, help them see the truth. Pray that the truth be revealed in due season. And sometimes when the truth is revealed, sometimes the relationships are still so far destroyed that you can't mend the relationships. Because that's what that devil wants. That enemy wants that. The enemy be jealous because you got a good relationship with your children. That enemy be jealous of that. They'll sit back and lie and tell your children stuff that they know darn well is not true. But because they don't like you having a good relationship, they want to sit and spew hate, sit and cause division. You trying to break generational cycles, right? You trying to break generational cycles, and that demon see that. And that demon go in and slither and create chaos and create chaos. And you sitting there like, I'm just trying to, you sitting there like, I'm just trying to be a good mom. I'm just trying to break cycles. And because they were not good parents, they want to project that mess onto you. Like you were not a good parent. They know darn well you being a better parent than they ever would be. They know that. But they want to create these narratives and they want to come between you and your children, come between you and your spouse because they never been married. They never had a husband or never had a wife. And guess what? Now they want to create chaos. Tell you what you wouldn't do. Oh, I wouldn't do that for him. Oh, I wouldn't do that for her. But they never had a man. They never had a wife. But people fall for these um, this demonic venom because they're not spiritually sensitive. Only the chosen ones are sensitive like this. The chosen ones could see through certain things that people don't see through. And you sitting there like y'all don't see that, and no, they don't see it. Listen, you sitting there like I know y'all see the manipulation and this deceit, and they don't be seeing it because they don't have the spiritual eyes. They don't have the eyes. Everyone is not chosen. They don't have the spiritual eyes like the chosen one has. That's why they can't see it. And you can't get mad at them because they don't see it. Your best thing to do is pray. Like, Lord, help them to open their eyes. Help them to open their eyes. Help them to see what I see. And sometimes it may take years. It may take years for them people to see what it is that you see. But by that time, the relationships are so destroyed. But I believe God can do anything. But by that time, I believe the relationships be so destroyed, it's really kind of hard to come back unless God renew and reconcile that relationship. Because misery loves company. And in this season, let me tell you, the people that are so demonic, the people that are so miserable, and they're so evil, these people are ugly. They're not only ugly spiritually, but if you look at their faces, they are carrying the evil that they have inside of them. Their faces carrying the evil that is on the inside of them. That's why you can see a person and you can tell they're racist because they got a racist look. You can tell they're prejudiced. You can just see the prejudiceness on their face because that's what's in them. And in this season, the people who are trying to hide from you all and being deceit, you're going to see the deceit on their face. You're going to see the slither. They're going to go to looking like snakes and witches and evil. You're going to be able to see it because they won't be able to hide it for so long. They won't be able to hide it. They're going to start looking like what their hearts are. And you can't be ignoring this. I know y'all want to ignore this stuff. And I know us as people, we want to override a person's title over what they're showing us in character. We want to override that that's mama. We want to override that that's daddy. We want to override that that's grandma. We want to override that that's my son. But you got to look at the spirit of these people. The spirit will tell you. I'm not talking about little children. Even in them, you can be able to see the devil getting these kids too. The devil getting these children. That's why you got to keep them prayed up as a parent. You got to be in a place to keep them prayed up. Hello. You have to keep them prayed up. Yes, you want to be able to see the ugliness on them. You're gonna be able to see the evil. You're gonna half of y'all can already feel the evil. I've been feeling the evil. I've been feeling the evil, but see, I didn't used to see it. I used to feel it, but I never used to see it. I'm like, they look innocent. They look so, they look so innocent and dainty, and you know. But I used to feel the evil, so I used to judge according to looks. But once I started tapping into the spirit and paying attention to the spirit, oh, I listen to my spirit. I don't override it. I don't question. I don't do any of that anymore. When I feel evil or when I feel something ain't right, I sit back and observe. I don't make assumptions. I sit back and observe. I was like, my spirit trying to tell me something. This isn't an alert. But when you stuck in abuse cycles and when you stuck around people who like to create chaos, like the demon I was dealing with, you can't even focus and pay attention to your sensitivity. Oh, sorry, my earring hitting the thing. I'm sorry, yeah, for that noise. You can't even pay attention to. You can't be sensitive in your spirit because you're fighting the confusion. You're fighting the confusion. Yes, and I'm so glad I broke free from that because I was able to see so much. I saw stuff when I was in that situation, but when I broke free, when I stopped this person from coming around me and coming to my house and stuff, I was able to see things more clearer. But this person still had access, right? This person still had access to my children. So therefore, um, I had to ask God to show me how to deal with that. But see, one of the situations was too far gone. There was nothing I could do because she hadn't already got in his head, right? She had already on brainwashed, brainwashed my baby. So I just had to deal with that the best way I could. I had to deal with it the best way I could. But let me tell you something. I don't care what nobody say. If you experience something, if you've gone through something, yes, you have to forgive, right? But you don't have to reconcile. You don't have to trust a person ever. I don't care what people say. We got to stop thinking foolishly. Because I used to be like this. I used to always try to think I gotta be nice. I gotta try to do right. It won't be right. But if a person hates your gut, if a person doesn't like you, if a person is slandering you as that parent, and you know you're not doing anything, you know you're not abusing your children, you're only trying to raise them. If that person is slandering you, if the person is trying to create havoc between you and your children, if the person is lying on you, you can't trust that person. You can't trust that person. And I know it's hard. We put ourselves in these situations with people and we think we have to try to be nice to get along. But I don't care. I don't care. You can't trust people like that. When they've shown you who they are, believe them. Believe them. If they go to the degree of trying to destroy your seed, destroy the minds of your seed, if they go to that degree, you can't trust these people. You can't trust these people. Your best bet is to push them away, keep them from around you, keep them from around you, because that is a dangerous situation. My grandmother always told me a person allowing you will kill you. I don't want to get deemed unalive you then, because YouTube may kick me out. It may kick me out. If I get kicked out, I have to come back on. They will delete you, and we take this stuff as a game. I don't take this stuff lightly. I don't take this stuff lightly. And people want to, we want to play around with this stuff as if it's normal. And, we thinking, oh, that person won't go that far. Look at what's going on in the world. Look at what's going on in the world. Look how many people are doing things to people who they trusted. Look at this foolishness that's going on. So we can't put nothing past these people. I don't care what people say. They're like, oh, you probably doing too much or you thinking. No, I'm not thinking too much. I'm not thinking too much. When the person show you who they are, you gotta believe them. You gotta believe them. You got to stop being so nice and believe what people are showing us. We have to believe what people are showing us because they're showing us what their hearts are. They're showing us what they're capable of doing. And unfortunately, you got a lot of people that have mind control over folks. They won't do their dirty work. They won't do the dirty work that they want to do. They project their envy. Their use suggestion to the pawn that they're using. They're suggesting to people and have those people do their dirty work. Come on now, y'all know, y'all know, y'all know y'all don't experience this. They too coward to say it. They too coward to do it, but they'll sit and manipulate the mind of an innocent person and have that person to come up against you. Have that person to say everything they want to say to you. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. They will do that. Yes, they will do it. I'm sure y'all have seen it. They so coward because they wanna throw rocks and hide their hands. They want to throw rocks and hide their hands and look all innocent. Oh, it wasn't me that did it. Oh, she the one that did it. Because when I confronted, a while back when a situation happened, um, a situation happened and it was dealing with the same situation. So when I confronted one of the people, I say, now you know darn well, yeah, I'm old school, Southern. I say, now you know darn well that situation didn't go down. And I said, you know what? I said, you sat there and you allowed people to slander me. You allowed people to lie on me. And you didn't say not one word. And I told the person, I say, this was the person was the ringleader behind that, right? I told the person, I said, this was the person, the ringleader behind that. And the person was like, no, they wasn't the ringleader. It was someone else. It was someone else. I say, no, it was the both of them. You're trying to protect. See, one thing about, when you got people that are flying monkeys and under control, they'll try to always protect their abuser. They'll protect their abuser too. Because the person that abuse you, they're abusing the people too. They'll protect their abuser. They'll go to great extent to protect the one that the person that's behind the demonic, movement. Look, they'll protect the person behind the demonic movement. They'll go to great heights. But when you know, you know. When you know the truth, you know the truth, right? So so I told them, but my point was the person was behind the scenes creating all the chaos and still putting it off on somebody else. Say somebody else was doing it. She didn't even take blame for it. She put it off on somebody else. Even he put it off on somebody else. But in those situations, you got to let go. You got to remove yourself from the situation. What I've learned about situations like this, I've learned you got to ignore these type of situations. You have to ignore these type of people because what they do, what they want. I'm sorry, my headpiece fell out because I'm sweating. What they want is a reaction, and they want you to be focused on them. And when you're not focused on them, when you ignore the situation, it don't go away, but you leave them confused and fighting amongst themselves. So that's why they want to get you to react. Because if they get you to react, they know they got your attention. They got your attention. But you can't give people your attention. You can't give people your attention. And they're gonna create all these narratives. They're gonna create all these lies. And let me tell you what they sit back and do too. Oh, my glasses. They create they create all these narratives. They'll sit back and they'll wait. They'll sit back and wait for the opportune time. Can y'all still hear me? They'll sit back and wait for the opportune time and strike. They'll sit back and wait for opportune time to strike and to create their own narrative about the situation. Let me know if y'all still can hear me because my My earpiece dropped out, and I'm just gonna talk. Use it. Oh yes, set boundaries. I can't really see. Maybe I'm in the shade. Yeah, set boundaries. Jacqueline. They create all these narratives, and have people all confused, and people don't know what to believe. Them type of situations, you got to exclude yourself from. You can't sit there and try to fight and get people to try to persuade them not to. The situation I've learned, I'm so glad I went through it, because now I know you can't fight. I can't fight the way I did the last time. When people come in this angle, you got to exclude yourself. You got to go focus on your purpose, focus on your business, focus on the people you love and who love you, and keep doing what you're doing, because they want to take you off your attention. You notice people like this who always creating chaos and confusion. They have no purpose. They have no purpose in life. They're not doing anything significant. So they want you to get off your post. That's what the enemy does. The enemy takes the people who are doing things significant in life, who's trying to help others, who got a good, genuine heart, and he wants to use these spawns and pawns to attack those people. He wants to use these people to attack them. He wants to create narratives. Any little thing that you say, and you may not mean it a certain way, but they'll take what spin it. They'll take it and spin it as if you meant it a way that was demeaning and hurtful. But you got to learn how to fight these demons. And you fight these demons by making sure you fully equipped. You fully got the word in you. You fully know who you are. You fully know who you are. Because when you know who you are, people can say whatever. See, that's what got me. See, I didn't know who I was. And I was so focused. When the lies and the slander start, I was so focused and mad about, I can't believe they said that. I was just so focused, like, how could they believe this? And how could they? I was like trying to look. I didn't know what hit me. I was trying to figure out, like, I can't believe they think that. I can't believe they believe that. But see, I didn't know who I fully was at that time. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know my gift. I didn't know the authority that I walked in. Now that I know, guess what? I can know how to ignore stuff like that. I let them fight amongst themselves. Because see, when you don't feed into it, they don't have anything. They can't extract any energy off you. They can't extract any juice off you, because you're not feeding it to it. You're not calling them trying to say, well, why did you say this? Why did you say that? It was one time when I tried to, because chosen ones, we try to reason, we try to understand people, we try to get to points to where we trying to understand folks, right? And I remember one time I had called this person, trying to reason and trying to understand to see where I went wrong, right? But that person didn't want that. What that person wanted was for me to run behind them. Because when I called that person, when I called this certain individual, they were looking at me with a little demonic smirk on their face. They had a little demonic smirk, like, I got you. Look, they had a little demonic smirk. And at that point right there, in that instance, in that moment, I realized this person don't want to, they got to deal with their demons. They got to go get delivered from their own demons. This person don't want to understand it. This person want confusion. At that point is when I pulled back. I pulled back from the situation, because I realized there's nothing I could do. I did my part. Up to this part right here, I did all I could do. And people are going to hate you for it. People are going to judge you and hate you because you don't want to continue on in the dysfunction. You don't want to continue on in the cycle and the mess of dysfunction, chaos, and confusion. They're going to hate you for that. They're going to say you're not godly, you don't have heart, you don't have this and that. No, it's not that you're ungodly. It's that you're operating in wisdom. You're operating in wisdom. Yes, you are. You're operating in wisdom. And they don't understand that because they're so used to people being under their demonic control. See, one thing about the chosen ones, let me tell you something. And I'm going to tell you this, and y'all going to know this. People think because you're kind, they think because you're kind and you're pleasant and you run and you avoid conflict, you avoid chaos and confusion, they get that mixed up with weakness. They get that confused with weakness. They think because you're loving and you keep trying and you keep trying to understand and you want to make the relationship right, you want to try to understand people, they get that confused with you being weak. But they haven't seen the other side of you, chosen one. They haven't seen the other side. And you try not to get to that point because you know once you get to that point of no return, you're not going to return. And you still care and you still love them. But you just show up different. They think because you are so kind and forgiving and you give people chance after chance, they think you won't cut them off. They think you won't cut them off. They think you won't. And see, a lot of times people use religion against the chosen ones. They use because you are, that you say you're a believer, and they use that to abuse y'all. Not me, y'all. They try to use that to abuse you because they're going to try to hold that over your head. That's not what Jesus would do. That's not what God would do. God don't operate like that. You have to operate in love. No, that's not what he did. When people came up against him, they were doing stuff they wasn't doing. He flipped over tables too. He flipped over tables. He talked about the stuff he hates. It's stuff in the word that God hates. So they can't use that against, they try to use that. They can't use that. That's not how you're supposed to be. And she called herself this. He called himself that. One thing I know, people don't like to be held accountable. People don't like boundaries. That's why people don't want to believe in the Bible. People hate the Bible because the Bible gonna hold you accountable. You can't do what you want to do. You want to do what you want to do, but there's something that's holding us accountable. And we don't want no parts of anything that's going to hold us accountable. Because this world has been taught we can do what we want to do with no consequences. Baby, there's consequences. That's why they got the law in place. That's why they got something called the court system. It may not always be just right. The courts may not always do what's right, but it's there for a reason. They have law enforcement for a reason, to enforce the law. Like, you can't do what you want to do. And that's what happened with this world. People think people want to do what they want to do, and they don't want you to say anything about it. They don't want you to call wrong. They don't want you to say, right, you shouldn't do this, because if you keep doing that, this is the direction you're going to head down. And in some instances, you got to let people do what they want to do. You have to let them do what they want to do so they can learn. So they could learn, y'all. Be okay. Let people learn their lesson. Let people learn their lesson. Let people learn their lesson. Hello, how are you doing, dear? I'm good. It's hot out here, right? Mm-hmm. Have a good day. Sweet little kid. But yeah, people don't like. People want to. And see, another thing about the chosen ones, people want to zap that kindness away from you. They want you to be like them. They want you to be hateful and nasty like them. That's why they go. That's why they slander, because what they're trying to do, they're trying to slander you to make you be them. They're trying to make you conform. They want to paint a picture to people that you're nasty, that you're rude and mean like them. They want to be you. They want to be kind and loving just like you. They want that, but you got to be pruned to get that. You can't buy kindness. You can't buy kindness. You got to submit yourself to God to be kind. You can be fake nice. That's why chosen ones, we're able to see through people. When people are being too overly nice and it don't come off genuine, we can read through that. I know I could. We can read through that. People trying to gift, they come bearing gifts. They come bearing with over complimenting, complimenting too much too soon. That's being fake nice. That's not being genuine. That's not being kind-hearted. Kindness is exuded. Kindness is you walking in the store and people see kindness on you. They'll speak to you and they don't even know you. Kindness is people smiling at you and you don't know them. That's what kindness is. Can be felt. Just because you can't be controlled, that don't mean you're not kind. Kindness could be felt. Kindness is a stranger walking by and they feel like you're approachable. You're not walking around with this mean, resting face that they talk about. You got this resting face on you. People can't approach you. This kindness, something that comes from inside. And you only can get that when you're in communication with your Father. You only can get that when you haven't submitted yourself over to the enemy. You only can get that when you ask God to forgive you, when you ask God to forgive your enemies, help you to forgive your enemies, help you to forgive people who have wronged you. You only can get that from him. You can't go buy no kindness. That's why people hate y'all, chosen one. They hate that loving spirit you have. They hate that you're not like them. Oh, yes, they do. Oh, they hate it. They hate that you're not like them. They want you to be them so bad. They want you to be them so bad. And you can't because you're you. That's why they try to project their ideas, ideologies, their beliefs, how you should be, what you should do, how you should parent, what you should eat, how you should sleep. They want to dictate and control your everything, how you should wear your hair. No. Chosen ones. No. People want to change your hearts. That's why they abuse you. People want to change you, make you so bitter and broken. That's why I cast my cares. When I go pray, I say, Lord, help me to forgive them. Even if I don't feel like I've forgiven them sometimes, I still ask every day, every single day. I go and say, Lord, help me to forgive my enemies. Help me to forgive the ones who lied on me, talked about me, because I don't want to be them. I don't want to have a bitter heart. I don't want to be looking bitter in the face. You got some people, they look bitter. Look, you can walk up to them, they just look miserable. They look bitter. I don't want to be that way. That's not a way to live my life. I want to be happy. I want to enjoy life. I want to be kind. Even when people are being nasty and mean and not having a good day, I don't want that to be able to affect me. I don't want nobody else's mood to be able to dictate if I'm going to be happy or not. I don't want that for me. Because that's being controlled. That's being controlled. Somebody else's mood dictating you. No, if you come, you be nasty and mean, I'm still going to be joyous. I'm still going to be happy. I'm still going to talk to people. Can y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all still can hear me. But I had to come give y'all that word. I was on fire. When I be walking, I told y'all when I walk, I be outside, I be getting downloads. I get downloads. And I have to come talk about this stuff. I have to come talk about this. And I have to be transparent. I have to be transparent. I have to give y'all examples of what I've been through so y'all can see I'm not here just talking. And it's not easy. I'm not coming here saying this stuff is easy. Walking these situations out are not easy. This is another reason. That's why you can't judge somebody's situation. That's why people be online and they be talking about what I wouldn't do if that were me, if this, that. I don't do that. I don't do that because if you were not in them people's shoes, you don't know what you would do. Let's just say that. If you were not in their shoes, you can't say what you would do. If you didn't have to walk that thing out, you don't know what you would do. You don't know that. It's easy to say. My grandmother used to say it's easy to say what you wouldn't do, what you would not do because you're not in that situation. It's easy to say because you're not in that situation. It's easy to say. That's what I learned. The Lord taught me in 2007. I shared with y'all a while ago in a video where he started taking me and showing me not to say what you wouldn't do. Not to say, and I stopped that foolishness. Because people sit back and talk about you and say what you should do, how you should be, but they don't have to walk your stuff out. They didn't have to be there when you was going through stuff. They don't know how you think. They don't know your upbringing. They don't know your loyalty. They don't know anything. They just going by what people told them. This is why if you ever have a situation with a person and you feel like the person is pulling away, or you know they don't feel out, or somebody don't told you a lie, or somebody said something, you go to that person. That's how you resolve that. Don't let people tell you something about me when I'm not around. Because if a person is talking about me, if I'm not there, they're trying to create confusion and division. If somebody is telling you something about me and something I did, tell that person to go and get the person, and y'all get together and discuss that. But see, we don't do that nowadays because people want to create division. They want to lie. They want to, turn people against each other. They're jealous of relationships. I know people right now think I don't know they're behind the scenes creating chaos, still trying to create chaos. They're still trying to create chaos subtly. It's like just this subtle type chaos they're trying to do. Push their agendas and their mindsets on different people I'm connected to. But you got to pray and ask God to reveal situations to people so you won't seem like the evil one. Because see, when you confront people and you say different things, that'll make you like the evil one. You know how she is. They love to say, you know how she is. They'll hit people with that. And that's planting seeds of doubt. That's planting seeds of confusion. Oh, you know how that person is. You know how your mama is. You know how your dad is. You know how she is. They say that as a way of saying, oh, this person just, unsure. They always assuming things. No, they're not always assuming things. You just don't like boundaries. You just don't like boundaries. You don't like that I can see through your foolishness. You don't like that I can see what you're doing behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. They love to say that whenever you hear people say these two words, they're operating in a demonic spirit. When they say, you know how she is and she's crazy, and you gave them no reason to say that, you did nothing to warrant being crazy or to warrant that little demonic seed planting of, you know how she is, you know how they are, you know how she is. That's a way of getting people. They're trying to get in somebody's head. They're trying to get in somebody's head about you. And people are so blind because this could be a conversation. I got to finish working out. This would be a conversation that'll last 2 days. Just that one topic with different scenarios. That thing will last 2 days because it's so deep. Because people are so demonic. They can't control you. So they're going to try to change the element and the mindsets around of people around you. That's what they're going to try to do. If they can't get to you, they're going to get to the ones around you. I did a video on that a couple months back. When toxic people can't get to you, they're going to destroy the relationships around you. They don't want you happy. If they're not happy, they don't want you happy. They don't want you to have good relationship with your children. They don't want you to have good relationships with your sibling. They're going to go after everybody you're connected to. That demon in them going to go after everybody. And sometimes people are so weak, they can't see it because one thing about people who believe stuff, they're so caught up in their own sin. They won't be able to see the truth because they're full of sin. They're wrapped up in their own sins of fornication and lust. So they won't be able to see the truth. They can't be open to things that are spiritual. So they're going to believe surface lies. They're going to believe how they believe. And they're not going to be able to see it. And you have to just cut your losses in some of those relationships. And I know it's painful. God knows it's painful. I've lost some relationships with people that I didn't want to lose relationships with, although they really didn't believe. They really didn't believe like I believed, and they were living how they wanted to live, and I didn't judge them because that's not my place. My place is to be truthful, and my place is not to hold back the truth. I don't care who it is. And that's what we do sometimes, because we love people so much. We'll hold back the truth because we don't want them upset with us. We'll do that. We'll make exceptions for our children. We will make exceptions for our friends. We'll make exceptions for our siblings. We don't want to tell the truth because we don't want to lose that relationship, because you know that truth is going to bring, that truth is going to slice. It's going to slice where it need to be slit. You hear me? The truth is going to slice, and we don't want that. We don't want truth. We want to sit and live how we live. We want to sit and live in our misery and and the sins that we live in. We don't want nobody to tell us that's wrong. We don't want nobody telling us sleeping with somebody else's husband is wrong. We don't want nobody to tell us sleeping with somebody else's wife is wrong. We don't want nobody telling us that fornication is wrong. We don't want nobody telling us, you sleeping with another man is wrong. You liking another woman is wrong. We don't want nobody. We want to do what we want to do. That's why they want to get rid of the Bible. We want to do what we want to do, live how we want to live. We don't want nobody telling us stealing off them people's job is wrong. We don't want nobody telling us lying to the government to get some food stamps is wrong. We don't want nobody telling us lying is wrong. We don't want nobody telling us this stuff. We want to do what we want to do. And we don't want nobody questioning. We don't want them questioning nothing that we do is wrong. Because we want to live. We want to live how we want to live. We don't want nobody calling us. We want to live how we want to live without nobody checking us. That's why the world has gotten so far gone how it is now. Because what people equate to somebody just loving you and caring about you, the world has twisted that into making people feel like they're judging. And the first thing people say when you correcting somebody, don't judge me. You judging me. And they get all in their feelings. I'm not judging you. I'm telling you the truth. I love you. I don't want you to head down the road of destruction. I don't want you to end up in jail. I don't want you to end up in prison. I don't want you to die. I don't want you to, get no disease. I don't want you to lose your job. I don't want you to, to jeopardize your livelihood. Because if you get a felony, it's going to be hard for you to find work. Right? But people don't, they don't want you. They don't want you to speak truth. They don't want you to speak truth. They don't want you to call wrong, wrong, and right, right. They judging. They always judging. The people in the church are always judging. Christians are always judging. You ain't even got to be no Christian. You ain't got to identify as being a Christian. You just the person that's living right. You don't have to identify as knowing God. You don't have to identify. You still got people out there who don't believe, but they still have a moral compass because it's built in them. God gave them that moral compass. You don't have to have any of that. They just don't want nobody telling them. They want to live their life in sin, in wrong. Well, we ain't gonna call it sin because they don't want to call it sin now. They want to call it I don't know what they want to call it. They just don't want to call words because it makes them, it convicts them more. They don't want to call adultery. They want to call it an affair. They don't want to call wrong. They want to just call it YOLO. They want to change the vocabulary word so they could desensitize the conviction. But I'm sorry, if you're going to be my friend, you're going to be around me, I'm going to call what it is. If you're going to be in my energy, my space, and I don't care if I have to be alone, I'm going to call it what it is. I'm not going to just be judging and pointing out every flaw or whatever. No, that's not what I'm talking about. But when you see stuff and people heading down the road to destruction, you're supposed to warn them. That is love. And let me tell y'all something. You share this part especially with those you love, with those you really care about. If a person is condoning behavior that's going to send you down the road of destruction, these people don't love you. They love themselves because they want to benefit from you. They don't love you. If they see you going, if people who say they love me see me walking down the road, and there's a big hole in the road, right? And they see me walking, and I'm looking at my phone, and they see me walking, and they don't say nothing. They wanted me to fall in that ditch. They wanted me to fall to my demise. They wanted me to fall. Somebody correcting you doesn't mean they're judging you. Somebody correcting you doesn't mean they hate you. Somebody correcting you and telling you the truth, those are the people that love you. Even the word says God corrects whom he loves. If you're convicted by doing a thing, God loves you. He's going to correct you. And you should be glad for that. You should be glad for that. Let me get my little door backpack so I can get ready to go to the gym. Hold on, y'all. You should be glad for that. People correcting you. That's love. People sitting there condoning, oh yeah, she wrong. Oh yeah, your mama wrong for that. Oh, your daddy wrong for that. People who do that, they don't have your best interest, babe. I'm sorry. They don't have your best interest. They do not have your best interest. And you best believe that. The people who got your best interest, they're going to tell you the truth. And although it may hurt because your flesh wants to do what your flesh wants to do, although it may hurt, those people care for you. They looking at what's ahead of you. They're looking out for your well-being in the future. They're looking out for your well-being in the future. They're not trying to satisfy what you got going on at this moment. They're not trying to become your friend. They're not trying to get likes from you. They're not. They're not. And that's what people get it twisted, because this world has got so far off, and this world has become so wicked that when you try to correct somebody, oh, they feel like you're judging them. That's wrong. That's the wrong twisted thinking. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. No, that's not judging. That's called correction, baby. It's correction. And people don't want to be corrected because they want to do what they want to do. But anyways, y'all, I have to go. I have to finish working out before it's too late. Um, Sorry I had to abruptly end this live, but I had to come tell you all the truth. I had to come provide you with the information, because we have to be able to deal, and we have to be equipped, right? We have to be equipped. We have to be equipped with what's to come. We have to be ready for what's ahead of us. We have to be, because life is going to life, whether we want it to life or not. You got people in this world, and you see it's getting more wickeder and evil. So you have to be equipped to how to deal with different people with their agendas. You have to be equipped. You got to know how to not let this stuff that people try to put onto you, you got to know how to not let it bring you down. You have to be able to be equipped, not let this stuff get you into fear. Yeah, get you into fear. Have you in unforgiveness? Have you mad? Big mad. Because somebody trying to come against you? No. You got to be in a place to where you're responsible. That's why this channel is called the Responsibility Channel. You got to be responsible for you. You got to be responsible for you. It's nobody else's issue. And the reason I brought this channel about is because I grew up in a situation that I could have been blaming my parents for everything. My parents didn't give me everything that I wanted. They were not nurturing. They were not loving. My mama I never had a nurturing relationship with my mama. I never did things with my mom, like to go at a park or to go to, you know how people just think certain things are just automatic. A lot of people didn't get that stuff. You know, people think stuff automatic. A lot of people didn't get that. Like, I didn't have my mom, hugging me and speaking life into me. I could have blamed that. I could have blamed that. But see, people's getting this selfish mindset, like people gotta do stuff in order for you to be something. No, as long as you have your relationship with God, He will provide everything that you're needing. My mama didn't attend my school events. My mama didn't, all this stuff people make excuses about why they can't operate in the world. I didn't have any of that. My mama never talked to me about college. My mama never talked to me about being great. My mama never spoke to me, spoke life to me. I don't know. My mama never had a conversation with me about life and boys and men and saving myself and all this crazy. I never had that. Like, people just want to make excuses. And I'm not a person of excuses. This is why I can't make it. That's why I'm not a person big on that. Because there comes a point in our life where we got to be responsible for us. I got to say, you know what? No, my mama didn't do that. Do I hate her? No. But am I going to limit myself because she didn't come to my school event when I was in the 4th grade and I'm a full grown woman now? Like, people want to make excuses for stuff. Girl, listen. I'm like, girl, sound like I'm talking to one of my girlfriends. But listen, people want to make excuses. There is no excuse. My dad didn't tell me about saving myself. I had to learn all this stuff the hard way. He didn't tell me about, if you do this, teach me the things of life. And your parents are not going to be able to teach you everything. Some things life is going to have to teach you, and life taught me a lot. My parents didn't teach me a whole lot. My grandparents did, but not my mom and my dad. They taught me things by default, like never touching a drug. That's what they taught me. Don't touch drugs, right? I don't care what I'm going through. I'm not gonna pick up a drug. I don't even like Tylenol, pain. Listen, I don't care if it is prescribed. I don't like none of it. But my point is, people just want to have excuses. I'm like, even when people mistreat, this how much a tyrant. My accountability is, I should have known who I was, stood up for myself. I should have stood up. Hello, I should have stood up for myself. I should have been in a place where I didn't let a person push me into a corner. That's my fault. I should have spoke up sooner. I should have had some guts. I should have had some bigger, you know what, and fought and get past the fear of making people mad. I still take accountability for that. I don't blame that person. I don't blame them at all. Because people are going to do what you allow them to do. People are going to say what you allow them to say. People are going to treat you how you allow them to treat you. It's either you're going to stand up or you're going to run. You're going to tuck your tail under yourself and run. Either or is going to be your choice. So be responsible. I got to get in this